Hello, everybody. Chef John here, looking much older now that I'm 57. This is the post-birthday live chat, which is nice. It meant I didn't have to think up a fake topic for the chat, since we usually don't stick to those anyway. Anyway, welcome, everybody. I see a lot of the usual suspects, and thank you for all the birthday wishes. I will acknowledge that a few times and then ignore them, since, who needs to be reminded of that? So 57 feels like 56, very similar. And I would like to say I was out all night partying and have a huge hangover, but I can't do that anymore. I had a grand total over the weekend of 4 beers over 2 days. So not exactly party animal of the past, but we had a great time up at Kismet. Michelle and I did a lot of work, did some painting, did some gardening, pruned the tomato plants, cut off what they call in the business suckers, those little branches that don't do anything. So I took a few pictures. We have some video, if you remember. I'm going to post later on. We had a visit by a couple of gorgeous gray foxes who were almost mocking me, just standing in our front yard looking at us, totally unafraid, until we started talking to them. Then they ran away. But anyway, I only got a shot of one of them, but there was 2 in these bushes in front of our house. So that was very cool. We also, as you might have heard, took down the garlic. So I'm going to post a little video of the aftermath of the first ever garlic harvest at Kismet. And anyway, that's it. As usual, just be answering questions. Some of them will trigger memories, and I will tell old war stories, and then just generally, confuse people, especially the new members. Anyway, thanks, Tom. Welcome aboard, Shu. And again, thank you for all the birthday wishes. Not necessary, but appreciated nonetheless. And let's see. I'm going to try to find some questions in between all the happy birthday wishes here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. Let's go with some questions. And Afik has a very common one. An uncommon one. What kind of uncommon condiments, ingredients do you always like to have on hand? Well, actually, I'm not sure what counts as uncommon. Most across, your average household in America, Asian fish sauce might be considered uncommon because it might be something someone buys just for a specific recipe. But that would be one. I think every household should have a bottle of fish sauce. And same goes for more of the exotic spices, your pepper spice, your different curries, herb de Provence. You've seen me use that in a lot of videos. Not necessarily an herb blend that a lot of people keep on hand, but I like to have it around. So that's a tough one. Uncommon ingredients, to me, they're all common. And since we do food from all corners of the earth, we usually end up using just about everything. So if you've made all our recipes, you'll have pretty much all you need. Has anyone made all the recipes? A movie where someone did every Julia Child recipe, I'm remembering. Could someone do that for food wishes? Just cook all 2,000 and then send me a video. All right, hold on. We got a couple new members. Oh, I already thanked them. Thank you, Tamara. Thanks, Becky. How's it going? Pretty good. Not bad at all. People want to know if I get high. Speaking of your garden, no, we're not growing any pot. Whether I get high or not, I'd rather not say officially. So am I. But I'm very pro people doing what they want to do with natural ingredients. Daphne, did I say that right? Butchering names is pretty much 40 to 50% of these chats if you're new. Uh, Daphne wants to know, do I have a staff that helps with your videos? No. No, I am impossible to work with, and I am a control freak. I have to do these alone, only with the help of the very lovely and talented Michelle, my wife. We do it all, just the two of us. Just the two of us. And that's it. That's the crew. I have a tripod. That's my cameraman. I should name the tripod because it's my constant companion. And I think I'll call him Brad Pitt. That's an old Hollywood joke. If you got that, you read too many tabloids. Anyway, and that's as close to a dirty joke as you're going to get on the channel. Jim wants to know, are you planning a theme dish for Halloween this year? Jim, good question. Michelle and I were talking. Halloween traditionally is when we would be planning the next crop of garlic. So maybe we will do a garlic-themed Halloween dish or recipe, which I'm sure the kids are going to be thrilled about. Because, of course, that's what most kids are like, yay, Halloween. I wonder if Chef John is going to post any new garlic recipes. So maybe we'll do something with garlic, and then maybe possibly something more for the kids, homemade scary candy, which I'm always amused by. One of my running jokes is every Halloween, all the bloggers in the world do their scariest snacks and most frightening recipes, and 0 of them are frightening or scary. A spider made out of pretzels and a marshmallow is a lot of things. It's not scary though. If you're scared of that, you gotta get a grip. Let's see. Do I have any recipes with red Leicestershire? Is that a cheese? It's your favorite cheese, Sarah. I don't, but any of our cheese recipes, just substitute whatever that is. I'm a cheese fanatic, only surpassed by Michelle being a cheese fanatic. So any and all cheeses are just welcome in our house. I'll have to try that. In fact, I'm sure I've had it since I've had every cheese. But I don't remember that cheese. Leicester? Is that how you say it? Red Leicester? Candy's making cream puffs today. Any hints? Yes. Not a hint, but a tip. Once they're done, that step where you let them cool down in the oven, like with the door cracked, I believe, to really dry them out, that's a big tip. You don't want a wet, soggy cream puff because you're going to pipe wet, soggy things into it. So make sure they're well cooked. Push the envelope. Don't burn them. All right? I don't want you to burn them and blame me. But when in doubt, give them an extra minute. They should be very, very nicely browned. And you want a lot of that moisture to be evaporated out of the dough so that they're kind of crisp and dry. And then you fill them. And that's the best combination between the texture and of the two ingredients, the shell and whatever you're filling them with. So cream puff sounds good, especially to the person asking about getting high. That is a good pairing. I've heard from friends. Tomorrow I got some unique mushrooms at the farmer's market. One of them is lion's mane. What's the best thing to do with them? Roast and eat, risotto. You know, mushrooms are mushrooms, I think, as far as what you do with them. Sometimes the bigger ones, the lion's mane is kind of a big one, which if you haven't seen it, I think it is the one that looks kind of like cauliflower. Those are kind of nice. Just rub them with olive oil and roast them whole until they're nicely brown. And then you can slice them up, eat them, or cut them up and use them in things like risotto. So I'm going to answer both to that question. I would roast them, eat them, and then use them in risotto. Depends on how many you have. But anyway, I think all mushrooms pretty much behave the same. I'm a big fan of really getting a lot of caramelization on them. There's nothing sadder to me than like a wet, soggy, sort of flaccid mushroom in a pan. I like a little crispness. Take your time browning them, and it just brings out that earthy, beautiful, meaty flavor, which is why they're used as a meat substitute for some of my vegetarian friends. Thanks, Mark. Rebecca Nixon is harvesting a ton of figs this year. What recipes do you enjoy for fresh figs? I've made enough jam already. Rebecca, I got some bad news for you. As I may have mentioned in previous chats when figs have come up, fresh figs are not my most favorite thing ever. I have posted a recipe in the past that I will pass along right now that got great reviews, and even I liked it, and I'm not a big fig person, as I said. But you cut them in half, and if you got a fire grill, char grill going for something else, a nice dessert or a nice course, you olive oil them, put them cut side down on the grill, flip them back over, just get a little charring on them. You know, we're not cooking them, they're not falling apart. You're just going to warm them through, get some grill marks on them, and then you surround a nice lump of burrata cheese and some balsamic vinegar, maybe some olive oil, extra, salt, pepper, some grilled bread, and that is one of the greatest fig recipes or fig dishes of all time. Other than that, I'm not going to be much help. I like cooked figs a little more. I will eat a Newton anytime. I'm a big fan of the Newton. And fig jam, sure, why not? But as far as giant baskets of fresh figs, it's nothing I've ever, craved, to put it that way. Carmine's going to make some paella and doesn't have access to Bamba rice. Yes, you can use arborio. I've done it with that. Is it a good substitute? I'll say it's a substitute. I find it's definitely going to be starchier, but there's only one way to find out if you're going to enjoy it, and that's just to go for it. At the very least, what you could do at the end, if it doesn't turn out, you will just claim it was our oven-baked risotto recipe, which gets great reviews. If you haven't tried our oven-baked risotto and you don't want to stand at the stove stirring forever, that's a nice alternative. But anyway, it should work. I mean, it's rice. How bad is it going to be? If your other ingredients are good, I think you're going to be fine. Trey Borsis made Bob's Kebabs last night. They were excellent. Best lamb dish I've had in a while. Thank you. Why did that video get so few views and traffic? Are people against Bob? Was it too male? I don't know. Should I have called it Pat's Kebabs? I'm confused by or should I have just called it lamb kebabs? I probably would have got twice as much traffic. So maybe I outsmarted myself there. But anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed them. Afik, in the process of making YouTube videos of your recipes, 22 down so far. Wow, very good. The Recipe Test Kitchen. So you're actually filming my recipes and then posting them on a YouTube channel. Interesting. I like it. I'm going to go check you out. Disco Inferno. I like the name, first of all. And you want to know if I sous vide anything? Very, very rarely. I don't have an official sous vide setup. I do I call it trailer park sous vide, where you use the Ziploc bag and you squeeze out all the air, and then you just maintain a super, super low flame with some insulation, and you get it to be 130, 140, whatever your target temperature is, and you just leave it there forever. It works great, by the way. If you haven't seen our duck breast sous vide, I think we call it stovetop sous vide officially. And we also did a New York steak like that, which came out, I thought, really nicely. So if you want, go check that out. And, it's kind of sous vide, but I'm not a big sous vide person. I can't wait, 3 hours for a steak. I just fry it. Maybe, and then people are like, well, it cooks so evenly in sous vide. It's like, why do I need my steak cooked so evenly? Is that a big thing? I just cook the steak, eat the steak, evenly enough for me. That's right, Candy. Anas, thank you very much. Welcome aboard. By the way, anyone just, watching from a distance, if you'd like to ask some questions or get a cool little medallion emoji thing, membership next to your name, all you got to do is join. Oh my God, thank you, whoever this is. And Tremitro, and Anamitro, Bottle Milk. Thank you very much. I don't know what denomination that is. I hope it's dollars. Anyway, I got sidetracked by this glaring thing that popped up on the screen. Anyway, the point is, go ahead and join. It's a nominal fee. Like they say, it's just pennies per day. And you can ask some questions, and I can butcher your name live on YouTube, which I hear is just quite an experience. And there's some other stuff. But anyway, that's a little sidebar here. I forgot I'm supposed to, do some slight amount of self-promotion, as is the custom on YouTube. But I forget. Anyway, I made the black onion relish. It was delicious, works remarkably well on burgers. If you're not familiar with the black onion relish, if you're ever barbecuing, and not gas grill, sorry, if you're doing like a charcoal kettle grill, traditional style, what you do is you take a whole onion, or a couple of them, don't peel it, just right in the skin, and you just bury it in the ashes and leave it there for I forget how long, until it's tender. The outside will be totally charred and black. And then you peel off the skin, and you chop that up, and you make like a relish or a salsa. It is insanely good. Smoky, sweet, earthy. You got to do it. And your friends will think you're crazy. Like, what are you doing with that black onion? It's burnt. We're not eating that, are we? And then they taste that on their hot dog, and they're like, you know what? You and Chef John were right. That was amazing. Thank you, everybody. Hoover, Lux, Restorations. Appreciate it. I think I missed a few questions, as usual. Ms. or Mr. Pelleprat. I can't pronounce your first name. Etene? Is that close? How do we express our food wishes? Well, there are so many ways. You can just write it right here. Just type it right in. I'll probably see it. Underneath any video, when I first post a video, I generally hang out and watch for comments to make sure if I didn't screw anything up or didn't upset anybody. You can always ask for food wishes under the videos. Twitter is a great place to ask me for a food wish. And then some of you, I don't know how you did it. Some people find my email and they email me food wishes, which is tougher because I get so much email and a lot of spam. So email is not the best system. I miss a lot of emails. But anyway, just in one of these chats or under a video or on Twitter, best ways to make your requests, that would be my suggestion. Thanks, Candy. Sarah wants to know, what would your ideal final meal be? Well, Sarah, do you know something I don't? Anyway, just in case, and there's an asterisk there. So is there something at the bottom that you tell me you know something I don't? My final meal would be tough. I have so many final meals. Fried chicken, grilled salmon on mashed potatoes, which is as a line cook I ate for years and years, was my pre-service meal. Always I would char grill a piece of salmon and eat it over a big pile of mashed potatoes. So it doesn't sound like a typical last meal, but it's kind of a comfort food thing to me. A grilled, just a roast chicken with mashed potatoes, I would say would be a classic choice. Pierogi, my family's recipe for pierogi, that would be right up on the list. My mom's potato salad, can't go wrong there. So thank you for the question as I take a sip of water and contemplate my imminent demise. Thank you to all the happy birthday wishes. It was yesterday, 7-Eleven. I'm 57, and look every bit of it, probably. But anyway, feeling good, feeling very immature. So I think that's the secret. I don't feel any different than I did at 25, which is just really terrible. You're supposed to feel different when you're 57. But what are you going to do? Okay, Etene Pella Pratt. Spell your first name out phonetically. This is driving me crazy. I don't even know where the name is from or what language I would even try to pronounce it or make reference to. Is it French? Maybe. Joni Fuzz. Now, there's a name I can pronounce. Actually, I didn't. It's Johnny Fuzz. See, I even screwed up Johnny Fuzz. But Johnny Fuzz, very good name. I've always wondered about YouTube creators. Can you make enough doing videos, or do you gotta have a daytime job? Well, if you have millions of subscribers, you can do it full time. If you have thousands of subscribers, you most definitely need a day gig or a side hustle, as the kids say these days. But it really depends. Speaking of side hustles, the neighbors are vacuuming upstairs, in case you hear anything on the ceiling. Anyway, no, if you have a channel with tons of subscribers, you can definitely scrape enough by to make a living and a little extra beer money. But you got to have lots of subscribers. And the bad news is, if you're starting a channel like today, it's tough because there's just so many people on YouTube. The creators that were fortunate enough, such as myself, to start all this, 10 years ago and build an audience, it's a lot easier, of course. So anyway, that's why when people contact me about tips and tricks to blow up their new channel, I never have any. So anyway, yes and no to your question. Why is skirt dual? Are you talking about skirt steak? So expensive now. It's probably because I did a bunch of videos for it. Now everybody wants to use it. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah, skirt steak is expensive. Adrian's making banana pudding right now. Literally watching a live chat making banana pudding. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Therindy84. Welcome aboard. Jim is making our double chicken tea right now. Love that recipe. Everybody should make double chicken tea. Adrian wants Japanese cheesecake. Pretty please. Is that the jiggly one? I've seen that. Does it taste good though? It looks like a big lump of cheesecake foam. I will be more than happy to do gimmick recipes just because they look cool. But it's so nice when they actually taste really good too. And whenever I've seen those Japanese jiggly cheesecakes, I'm thinking, man, that is a lot of air inside a cheesecake. Does cheesecake souffle sound good? Kinda. So maybe it is good. So anyway, I will consider that. Hey, Grape Tomato Girl, welcome aboard. Or welcome back. You're always here. Now welcome aboard. You were aboard like the first day. Your daughter, 7-year-old, made watermelon fresca. Oh yeah, that is like the ultimate summer drink. If you have some watermelon on hand this summer, and you want to sacrifice some for like the best cold drink ever, make our watermelon agua fresca. Blend watermelon, strain watermelon, or get the seeds out. Sugar, ice, amazing, amazing drink. Andrew wants to know if I like cooking by campfire. I think so. Yeah, I like cooking next to anything. Cooking next to campfire, it depends. I mean, I guess simple things like hot dogs or just a piece of meat on a stick. I think that's the most fun kind of campfire cooking. Sometimes I'll see videos like how to do a fancy meal in the cast iron pan at the campfire. Yeah. I mean, the setting, I think you want to do just simple, basic things. So yes, throw a chicken on a skewer and put it over a fire. I would do that anytime. And I'm sorry, I lost my place. Oh, here we go. Joe wants to know if I do a video for unguri sometime. Might be a great technique video to show easy lunches. Yes, I would consider that. Let me research that and see what I can do. Thanks, Hooverlux. Are those euros? Pounds? What did you just send me? Where's Warren Patterson? I practiced his name this week. Patterson. Anyone seen Warren? You're welcome, Etene. Did anyone spell that for me yet? I've changed how you cook at home. Well, that's the idea. Unless you used to cook better at home and now you don't cook quite as good, then that's not a compliment. But thank you so much. Daphne made our lemon sorbet very refreshing. Yes, you got to love the lemon sorbet. Everybody make that. Enrico wants to know if they're making demi-glaze, would chicken feet provide the needed collagen? I think it would. Yes, it definitely would. I've never done it. So are you talking like beef and veal bones and then chicken feet also? That would definitely work. I think any of my audience who is a fan of pho, if you're a fan of pho, I think very often they use chicken feet to do that exact thing in those broths. The same with ramen. So yeah, I'm down with that. Do you make much Thai food? I don't, which is bad. I should make a lot more Thai food. Having said that, I'm very proud of our satay recipes. I think we have a beef and a chicken and a pork, or maybe 2 out of the 3. And oh yeah, we've also done something that's not a Thai recipe, but inspired by, called Pad Thai popcorn, which we took the same flavorings in a Pad Thai and did a caramel corn out of it. And it was kind of crazy, but it worked and it was good. And as usual, I stole that recipe from an episode of, I think, Triple D, but I'm not sure. It was on TV and I saw some bar that people were eating it and going crazy. And I'm like, I have to make that. And it was really good. But no, I don't make a ton of Thai food at home, which is not a good thing. I should ramp that up. Casey, your final meal would be Brutus salad. Well played. I would eat that for my last meal. But only if I knew I was getting stabbed in advance. Thank you, Susan. Welcome aboard. Are you Polish or Russian? Well, I am both. And by Russian, I think, I've never had the official DNA done, I think Russian is actually Belarusian. So I'm half Italian, 25% Polish, and 25%, depending on who you talk to, either Russian, Ukrainian, or Belarusian, or maybe some combination of those. So that's the official genealogy. Yes, and where we say food wish, we mean people requesting recipes, to clarify. Revolution for $2 wants to know, recipe to get a lady to leave her husband for you. Oh man, I'm gonna need a drink before this one. Geez, a recipe that would get a lady to leave her husband for you. I'm not sure there is one. Now, if you cook her lots of recipes over the course of several months, and also you enjoy lots of wine with it, and she develops some kind of issue, and then the husband decides it's not worth it, that could work. It's a slower process. Anyway, I don't think I can really, in good conscience, having you breaking up marriages with my recipes. So you're on your own with that one. You'd like to think if it was meant to be, she would leave the husband even if you were a horrible cook. So you might want to just reevaluate that whole situation. Donna Lamb has some of my mom's potato salad in the fridge right now. That's good to hear. Any thoughts on doing recipes impossible meat substitute? Yes, I would like to do a meatloaf using impossible meats, but I have never gotten around to it. So maybe when it's more available and cheaper for the common folk like myself, we can just go to a store around the corner and get it and don't have to hunt it down. Maybe I'll do some recipes. But in general, I don't know. I think it's better just to make a burger just as it's sold. I assume it works in things like meatballs and meatloaf and all the other stuff. But I've never gotten into experimenting with it too much. But maybe in the near future, as they perfect the production techniques and it becomes a little more affordable and a little more available to the general public, I will reevaluate that. Thanks, Arpug. I feel like a youngster. Thank you very much. Frank wants some pumpkin recipes in the autumn. We'll try. We usually do one or two. I think last year, didn't we stuff a bunch of meat in a pumpkin and then roast it? And people seem to like that. And maybe between now and autumn, I will practice how to say pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. We pronounce things a little different back in Western New York that I now later in life have come to realize. So we'll see what we can do with some pumpkin. Have I ever done, Iwan wants to know, have I ever done Shepherd's Cottage Pie? Yes. Oh, yeah, we've done a few of those. Check it out. Cottage pie, I don't know. I think that's just a semantics. I think, was it beef, it's cottage, and shepherd, it's lamb, something like that. But no, we definitely have done those. John, I did not get my free Slurpee at 7-Eleven. I know they're free on that date. But I don't think you could pay me to drink a Slurpee. I used to have them as kids, and then I found out what was in them, and I was like, I'm good. So no, not a big fan of the Slurpee or drinking 16 pounds of sugar in a quart-sized glass. If I'm going to intake that much sugar, it is going to be in some kind of semi-awesome dessert. All right, people are wanting impossible meat recipes, fine. Melody, yes, I am a fan of the tofu skins. And stuffing those with rice or vermicelli, mushroom, tomato sauce, Thai or Malaysian, that sounds really good. Let's try to do something like that. Yeah, Alwyn, that's a good question. How to use up tons of tomatoes? I'm going to be dealing with that myself. Our tomato plants are just looking so just blown up with fruit, just flowers everywhere, little tomatoes everywhere. So I'm assuming I'm going to have that same problem. I think you'll, by law, have to eat one fresh tomato salad every day in the summer. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, doesn't matter. But that's a rule. You have to eat one fresh tomato salad a day. You also, every day, have to walk by the plant, pick off a tomato right off the vine, and just eat it like an apple or like a tomato. And that helps use up some. That's just a great little snack. And then we're going to can the rest, I guess. We're going to make sauce. We're going to cook it down. I don't know if you've ever made homemade tomato paste, but you can cook a gigantic amount of tomatoes down into just a couple cups of tomato paste. Basically, it's our apple butter recipe without the sugar, cooked down like that until it's really, really, really reduced. Sorry, every once in a while I lose my place because this jumps ahead and I have to go back. Grape Tomato Girl missed her 7-Eleven Slurpee too. Next year. A beef jerky is a great camping recipe. No, I don't have other suggestions. Any of our grilled recipes will work. So you'll be fine. People don't care that much about food when they're camping as long as it's plentiful and freshly cooked and not burnt and charred too much. Don't use any poisonous sticks like poison oak or something. That's to be avoided. Kent says the bacon wrapped double dog was a huge hit. Thank you. The added American cheese, great idea. Did anyone try a triple dog? After I posted the video, I got a lot of people saying, "What about 3 dogs? Why can't we wrap 3?" Which would make it easier to turn if you think about the geometry. Let's see, Austin, would you prefer to fight 100 tiny wooden spoon-sized horses or a single house-size tiny wooden spoon? Austin, that is a great question. I cannot answer that, but it is a great question. I don't think I'm going to fight any type of wooden spoon-sized horses. I can't even imagine how that would work. And a single house-sized tiny wooden spoon would not be a tiny spoon. Anyway, I am completely perplexed by that entire question. Maybe that was the idea. Well played. Oh, here we go. Atlan. How can that be right? All right. Thanks, Elwin. Trying to help me out with the names. Casey, yes, cannabis can be used in cooking, but why would you waste it? Omar wants to know if I can make muhalabi. I can. I bet I can. First step, though, is Googling that, seeing what it is, then trying a couple recipes, seeing if I like it, if I can make it well, then tweak it, and then eventually film and post it. So now that is on the list. Muhalabi. It sounds good. It rolls off the tongue. Grape Tomato Girl says, hi, Michelle. Hey. Fanafa is fun to say. Thanks, Kent. Oh, Disco Inferno wants a video on Madeline's. Very amazing French cookie. But you do need a special pan, and I don't know if I have that special pan. I'll have to go look. I might have it in storage, but we'll have to try to get that done. When is cookie season? That's sort of around the holidays, or is that a traditional summer cookie? Is there a story behind the Madeleine? No, a great, delicious butter cookie, soft, but not too soft, beautiful shape, perfect with a cup of coffee. Now I want a Madeleine. Thanks, Joe, for the Hawaiian happy birthday. Yes, Karma, I miss a good Sunday afternoon baseball game. When are they going to play again? I just heard Buster Posey's opting out of the season. A Giants fan here, so that's a bummer. But this year's kind of a lost year for sports, and the Warriors didn't even make the, modified season. So next year we will catch up. Tracy B, have I ever heard of Chilean pebre? I have not. Tell me what that is. Mark wants to know grocery stores I prefer. I don't have a preference, or at least I don't know if I should say my preference. The closest store to me is a Whole Foods, and it is not the best Whole Foods in the operation, to say the least. It is sort of a necessary evil. But I've been to other ones that have been fine, so it's not, I don't know if it's the brand. So nothing against them, and they generally have what I need. But I do, as much as possible, try to shop at the smaller markets, actually go to a butcher store, go to a fish market, go to there's a great place for produce in Sebastopol called Andy's that just has a ton of different stuff. So I like to pick and choose. One store might have better dry goods. One store might have better produce and so forth. So I like the old-fashioned shopping where you make 4 or 5 stops. I know if you're busy and you got kids screaming in the car, that's not always practical. But I do like to go, if I can, to the very specific type of market for whatever I'm looking for. It's just fun that way. You talk to the people. Buying meat out of a case at a giant supermarket is convenient, but I want to see the person cut the steak, cut the piece of salmon. I want to point to the one I want. I want to tell them, oh, can you trim that little thing off there? Compliment their facial hair. The butchers tend to always have beards. So anyway, that's sort of my system. Susan, been following years. When did I publish my first blog? I think 2007, if I'm not mistaken. No. Yeah, maybe 2007. It is a blur, and really a blur. So it's been a while, but I think 2007. Hey, Austin, hello to Corning, New York. Greatest regional cuisine, I think, in America is Western Central New York. So many amazing recipes. We've done a lot of them. Thank you, everybody, for the happy birthdays. I keep saying that. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks, Brandy. Sometimes I mention I'm losing light in the videos. Do I tend to start filming in the afternoon? Yes. Great question. If possible, see, I have two windows. I have a western-facing window here in San Francisco. When we start filming in the new studio, it'll be different. We'll have to figure that out. But here, I either have to film in the morning before the sun comes in the window, or I wait till late afternoon, and then I try to finish the recipe right when you get that gorgeous, what they call like the golden hour, that beautiful, not dusk quite, but the sun's going down, and it's really, the colors are saturated, and the light is a little softer. So I always try to time it for that. But what happens is I make mistakes, and I have to redo things, and then I lose an hour, and now I'm losing light. And that's when you hear me in the video saying, I'm losing light, and I sound all panicked, and I just start eating the food before I've done whatever, or I skip filming the garnishing or something. So yes, Brandy, that's that situation. I do try to film in the afternoon only because it's the best light, but generally it's kind of terrifying because I just run out. And then it's dark, and I miss the good shots. People are giving their grocery store suggestions. Very good. Chat amongst yourselves. Yes, ETN is a better way to sound it out. ETN. All right. I got it. ETN. That's what I thought. Chad, yes, the cast iron will work for tartartan. It's just really heavy. So I just didn't want to lift it. So you can totally use that. Holly keeps killing a basil plant. What am I doing wrong? Either not enough water or too much water. One of those two. That's usually it. Oh, Katie. I'm about to pull a southern banana pudding out of the oven. Forgot to add the flour. How bad is it going to be? It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. But it's going to be banana pudding. No, it's just not going to be thickened. It's not going to be tightened up. It will be banana sauce. Is banana sauce better than banana nothing? No, it's better than banana nothing. So you'll be fine. Of all the things that can go wrong, forgetting to add flour to banana pudding is not very high on the list of problems in the world. So you'll be just fine. Just eat it anyway. Let it cool. Pretend it was supposed to be like that. Confidence is everything. Rebecca, I have cooked with goat. I just use it as I would in any lamb dish, lamb stew. Use goat, and it is so delicious. So delicious. Tracy B's telling me pepper is like salsa, but with red wine vinegar instead of lime, garlic chili instead of serrano, green onion instead of onion, and lots, not garlic along, and lots of garlic or lots not garlic. That's confusing, but I think lots of garlic you probably mean, along with tomatoes, and that's it. So that sounds good. I will have to Google that. Did I celebrate with a birthday cake? No, we actually, because we were working and busy, we had ice cream sandwiches, which is sort of a, thin cake. So I considered it an ice cream cake. Excuse me, and it did the job. So thank you for asking. Thank you, Nadir. Or Nader. Seriously, my fans, my members have the greatest hard to pronounce names in YouTube history. It is a constant source of pride. Thanks, Kelsey. Your name's kind of easy. All right, let's catch up with these questions. Why can't we get pomegranate juice that's not from concentrate? Bob, that's a good question. Why can't we get that? Having said that, pomegranate juice is kind of easy but extremely messy to squeeze yourself. I think if you pulse with a blender and then strain it, that works pretty good with maybe a little water in there. But yeah, no, I didn't realize I don't really buy pomegranate juice. I didn't realize it's all made from concentrate. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Kent made Cornell chicken. I've cooked it, and do you have any tweaks? No, but Cornell chicken is a base recipe because it's just that kind of generic marinade with the egg and the oil and the vinegar. By the way, again, I say this for so many recipes. If you haven't made Cornell chicken, find that video. Next time you're going to grill chicken, do it that way. But as you blend it with those 3 basic ingredients, you can throw anything else in there. Any herb, any peppers, any kind of seasonings. That's the point. And you can really tweak that 1,000 different ways. Thanks, Eric. Allison's making steak, shrimp, and veggie shish kebabs for 17 people on Tuesday. Is that going to be safe? Are you guys going to keep your distance? All right, be safe. I hope so. And wants a recommendation for one marinade that will work for all 3. Well, I would say a garlic lemon marinade would work beautiful for the shrimp and also for the steak and veggies. So I'm going to go with a lemon-based marinade. Lemon, and if you want something a little on the creamier side, a yogurt, like a sort of a tandoori, a citrusy tandoori marinade would work on all 3 of those things. There's not a lot of herb, garlic, vinegar-based marinades or lemon-based marinades that wouldn't work on all 3. So really, I think whatever you're into will work. But I would lean towards a lemon-based. Thank you, Nader. Glad you cooked for your family, Mr. Nice Rice. Thank you. And my rhymes are your highlights. Thank you. Kinjun, my name is really easy to pronounce. It's Bill Smith, hence the nickname. All right. Thank you for that. I can't believe Warren Patterson is not in the chat. I practiced his name. Didn't put the R in there. And he's not appreciating. He'll have to watch this on delay. Oh, Tracy B made pork chops smothered in onion gravy many times. So delish. I'm glad you said that. Thank you, first of all. This week, we're going to be posting how to stuff pork chops. I'm finally doing a stuffed pork chop video. I've seen so many terrible pictures of stuffed pork chops online where people are trying to tie up the opening and use toothpicks. Stuffing is supposed to explode out of your stuffed pork chop. It's part of the show. So I'm going to show you one. I did it with some peaches and bacon and bacon peach cracker stuffing. Incredible. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up this week sometime. Jim has a tip, but I'm not sure I'm going to grasp it here during the chat, but I'll go back. A tip, if you are not already using it, click in the chat window where the text is, Control F and question mark to find all those who at least ended their question with a question mark. Ah, that's a good tip. So you mean I could just bypass all the comments and happy birthdays? Is that what you're saying? And Shu is, yes, their gathering is going to be safe. That's good to hear. Melody, pomegranate season is very short. So that's why they do the concentrate, apparently. Makes sense. Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much. I hope it works out without the flour. I'm thinking good thoughts. Thanks, Alex. I missed your pumpkin recipe. It's pumpkin cheddar tarts. Pumpkin eggs, onions, bacon. Perfect. That sounds good. A savory pumpkin tart with eggs and onions and cheese and bacon. I am down with that. Remind me of that in the fall. We'll do that. Man, that sounds good. And yes, Jim, thank you for that tip. I'm going to use that in the future. The Rindy 84 tackled the hollandaise using our method. No fear. That's right. A hollandaise can sense fear. You have to make it with just almost a cockiness and an arrogance. When you make hollandaise, you want to be arrogant, and it will come out. If you show any sign of weakness, it will break. And that's just the universe, again, teaching you something. Who knows? But anyway, we're really proud of our hollandaise method. Hollandaise is one of those recipes people overcomplicate, and they make it sound hard, and it's not. It's so not hard. Katie wants to know, how do we plan what gets filmed and when? Do you wake up and be like, I'm going to make stuffed pork chops today? Or is there more? So no, usually that's how it works. Of course, I get so many suggestions here, on Twitter, on all the platforms, and that's where I get, the bulk of the ideas. And then I put them in a little calendar like, oh, that would be a good thing to film, a good idea. And then they'll either pop back into my head when it's seasonally appropriate, or I'll go back and look at the calendar and go, oh, now's the time of year for that summer tomato recipe. That's usually how it works. But sometimes I do just wake up and be like, I'm going to make stuffed pork chops today. And then that works out that way. Flottamon. Can I please do tempura video? Tempura is so hard to film. It's so hard to make at home unless you're going to stand right at the fryer and just eat it right out of there. Because it just, I don't know, maybe I just haven't found the perfect coating recipe for tempura. But it's either too thick and stays crispy, or it's too thin and just gets, soggy from the moisture in the vegetable too fast. So I think I need a Japanese tempura master to show me how to do it. And once that happens, I'm happy to share with you. But I've never felt like I've mastered it enough to show you. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Thank you. I don't have any cookbook recommendations. I'm sorry. I'm the world's worst cookbook collector, reader, passer on of information. I just am so busy and so in my own little bubble of cooking and videos that other than flipping through them just to look at pretty pictures once in a while, I don't sit around reading cookbooks. And again, I'm not proud of that. It's just a fact. Brady, Brumfield, the hot, sweet honey mustard chicken thigh marinade is fantastic. I hope you're going to enjoy that. Really one of my favorites. Shu, yes, you want to have the French sense of excellence in cooking. I think any culture that's good at cooking has that sense. Not just the French, but they fetishized it probably better than most cultures. But yes, true. Great Tomato Girl, thank your son for his service. They're the real heroes. Give him a hug for us. Omar, if I want to make a recipe that uses cilantro, but I can't stand that taste, is it always critical or is it replaceable or removable? Well, that is a good question in that those are impossible questions. Because let's take guacamole, for example. Love a nice handful of cilantro in my guacamole, but 10% of people have a thing on their tongue, literally a receptor, that makes cilantro taste like soap, which is why people either love cilantro or they how could you eat that? It tastes like soap. So if you're going to make guacamole and you're one of these people, you don't want your guacamole to taste like soap. That would be silly. But it definitely gives a strong flavor. So to leave it out, it's not the same. So what do? Do you use dill? That's not the same, but would be something herbal in there. Parsley sort of has that greenish, fresh green flavor, but doesn't have that sort of citrusy kiss of the cilantro. So those are always really impossible questions because critical depends on your point of view. I think there's recipes where cilantro is critical, and I wouldn't want to eat it without it. But if I couldn't eat it, I would probably still make the recipe and try to use something else. So terrible answer, but that's the problem when you literally can't eat something because of a reaction on your tongue and you're trying to think of substitutes. All you have is other herbs. That's the only thing you can do. Joe followed us since they were 18, now 27. Wow, that's a long time. I feel even older than 57 now. Yeah, Frank says use parsley as a replacement for cilantro. That's pretty much all you can do. All right, Allison, good to hear. Stay safe. Thanks again, Kelsey. Whoops. Thanks, Randy. I remember that video. That was an old one. John wants to know if I made Parmesan bowls. You mean it's called frica? I think that's the Italian name. Anyway, you grate Parmesan on a nonstick pan and then cook it crisp and then form it over a bowl. I have made those. Haven't we done a video for those? If not, I'll have to sneak one of those in. Shu says 3% of the population cilantro tastes like soap. I think it's up to 10. I really do. Excuse me for a second. Refill. I'm drinking a lot of water this chat. And again, with one hand. Thank you very much. Someone was complimenting me earlier. Panko breadcrumbs are the key to making tempura, Iwan says. I didn't think there was any breadcrumbs in real tempura. Am I crazy? I thought it was just egg white and rice flour or flour, and maybe that's it? Water? Soda water? No, I know the kind you're talking about. Is it both? I'm so confused about tempura. Thanks, Bruno. Welcome aboard. By the way, there's only 3 to 4 minutes left in the chat. And as usual, we have a membership special at the end where you join at the exact same price as everybody else. But it happens right at the end. It's so much more exciting. The clock counts down to 60, and then we're in overtime, which is the same as regular time, except it's over the hour. Anyway, thank you, everyone, who participated today. We're going to hit the last of these questions. And, yeah, the cilantro people. See, if you bring up cilantro, you're going to get a lot of diverse opinions. Huckleberries, make pie. Dober Monster, make pie. Huckleberry pie. I'll have to retell that story in a future chat. I made the best huckleberry pie ever in a fireplace by falling asleep, accidentally leaving it in the ashes covered in foil at a motel or a hotel bed and breakfast, and it came out perfect. I can never recreate it, but it was amazing. Kelly, yes, I'm sure I did miss some of my viewers' paid questions. Let me go back and look. I will do that in a second. Someone just got Great Tomato Girl. Alton Brown did a video for how to deal with a watermelon. That's a video? Does anyone have trouble dealing with watermelons? All right, here we go. I got to go back. I said I missed paid questions. All right, got that one. If you think I missed your paid question, just pay and ask again so I don't miss it. I got the leave the husband question. All right, scrolling through. You guys can repost it if I missed it. Oh, Food Judge wants to know if I watched Food Wars anime. No, I haven't. I have not watched. I will check it out. Thank you for that question. Oh, Goblin, $15 wants to know if I had a whole fish roast. I cook a lot, but whole fish it is hard to get the right texture. I'm going to do a whole roasted fish soon. How about that? Maybe when we get down to turning on the oven weather, although you can do them on the grill, but a whole fish is a good idea. And I will show you how to take it off the bone really easily using a couple big spoons. All right, here we go. Judge wants to know if I cook a recipe with the one mythical megafauna, what would it be? I don't know what that is. What is mythical megafauna? Someone tell me. Is that something I should know? All right. Were those the questions I missed? Rice Nice, got that one. Okay, there's a paid compliment. Always appreciated. Kelsey, I blew off that question about the cookbooks. Don't read that many, sorry. But I appreciate it. All right, I think I got them all. And now we're overtime. If you guys want to sneak in a couple more, otherwise we'll just say goodbye and we'll go about our business. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you're in one of these hot spots, I know the weather's beautiful and everyone wants to get together. Please, people, stay apart, wear the mask, be a patriot. A real patriot has the mask on. I don't understand these other people that are anti-mask. But anyway, that's my socially conscious admonition for Sunday. All right, we're going to sign off. People are starting to say goodbye. Mythical megafauna, made up huge plants. I don't know. If someone can answer that quickly, I'm going to hang on. What is mythical megafauna? I don't know. I'm going to have to Google it. Thank you, everybody. We're going to all say goodbye now. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for all the great questions. Thank you for your patience with me butchering your name. You know who you are. And, yeah, have a great rest of your Sunday. Stay tuned. If you're a member, I'm going to be posting a video of a just beautiful gray fox and what the garlic looked like when it was done drying, curing. So that's coming up. And anyway, yes, have a great rest of the day. And as always, enjoy, even though I said I wasn't going to say that at the end of chats. I decided to. Have a great one. Thank you. See you soon.